and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeil Crafts. So exciting times! I have actually completely finished this journal. I have been so close for so long. I have been journaling since probably at least 2010, if not before, and this is the first journal I have ever completed. So I will do a flip through on my channel at some point, but before I do that, I actually want to decorate the cover because it is one of these journals that you can decorate the cover. So I'm just going to pop some paper in there because I want to preserve the lovely pages. And what I'm thinking of doing is I've recently got I probably should go and get myself some water. I will do that now. So I'd recently bought myself the Art by Marlene one day special on the craft store, so as it is now known, formerly known as Chanda. And I love the bright, funky rice papers that she's got. So my plan is to put those rice papers on here. But what I want to do is just to create a little bit of background colour. I'm actually going to grab some of the yellow as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just sort of going to be mixing yellows and greens about 1/3 up this, and then I will mix some blues and whites at the top half, so almost to sort of give the illusion of sky and grass. But this is just going to be, as I said, we're going to put rice papers on over because I love rice papers, and they are such bright, funky rice papers, so completely up my street. And I think they'll go on the canvas really well, and yeah, so I think that'd be a great way to do it. So the reason I have never decorated a front journal of a cover, because I've never got this far, but the reason that I've not done it so far and didn't do it first is, as you can see the state of it. I am not a tidy crafter, I'm a messy crafter, I make a mess, and what would happen is that I would make a lovely journal cover that I was so proud of and so happy with, and then I would stick it in paint or something, and yeah, I was a bit concerned that that is what was going to happen. So I've left it till last, and I'm going to do that last. So I also fancy, in my Dina Weekly journal we've got the fabric pages, and I really fancy trying the rice papers on some of those. I think they'll go quite nice, because also the fabric pages are ones that I've kind of avoided. I think probably the next journal that I'll finish will be the Dina Weekly one. I'm not nearly as close to finishing it as I was with this, but I think that might be the next one. But the trouble is, I've kind of done a lot of journaling on all the, you know, watercolour pages. I'm trying to do this so that it doesn't blend with the green too much, but I've got it on my brush, but I'm not particularly wanting to wet my brush either. So yeah, I've got a lot of the sort of burlap pages and the fabric pages left, but I'm thinking that rice paper on the fabric pages could be quite fun. I'm just trying to lighten the colour now, blend that a little bit, and then I will move into the blues. I am going to have to give my brush a little swill out, but we'll see how we go. So I'm very, very happy. This is not what I'm meant to be doing. I'm meant to be doing a Dawn and Julia create, and I started another video. In between doing that, I've just quickly finished the last page of this journal, which I didn't film because it sort of had a background done, so I just like grabbed a few things in my bit box and threw it at it. Did it really, really quickly. But yeah, I'm waiting for stuff to dry. I highly recommend crafting like this. When you do get yourself in a pickle, I am working in a complete and utter midden, quite frankly. But mixed media projects quite often have drying times and things. I don't even know if this is going to work. These are silkies. I inherited these. I have no idea how old they are, whether they're meant to be this thick or not. But I'm going with it. So I think if you've got mixed media projects to do, the best way for you to get the best out of your texture pastes in the various stages is to let things dry naturally. But that can be really difficult when you're working on a project because you just sort of want to see it finished. Whereas if you kind of think, right, okay, well today I'm just going to start lots of things, and you kind of have a day where you get everything to a certain stage. So like I've got quite a few projects just sort of drying off. That's absolutely fine. But it means I'll have another day where I can sit down and sort of see it from the stage it is at now to completion. So this is me sort of filling my time as I'm waiting for something to dry. I've currently got cogs that have had texture paste on which is dried, and they've now got the black gesso on. So once I've done this bit, I will paint them up whilst waiting for this to dry. Got a bit of a conveyor belt system going on. Not overly sure about this paint, but we're getting it used. Use your stash, people. That's the biggest bit of advice I can give you. It's amazing, stuff goes off. This I inherited from somebody who loved their craft and had loads of it and sadly passed away, and I was asked to sort out her stuff. If you followed my channel for a while, you might be aware of this because I was doing lots of destashes on my channel for a while. Then it all just got really overwhelming and I couldn't face it anymore. So, and unfortunately COVID hit, so the big events that I'd planned couldn't be done. But yeah, we got there. Somebody locally was able to take a whole load of it, and so it's gone to schools and old people's homes and all sorts of stuff like that. So lots of good causes were helped by it, which was good. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so she had loads of stuff, and like I did sort of put a contribution in and keep some of the bits myself. And these paints were part of that. As I said, I have no idea how old they are, and there was a lot of her stuff that was dried up and stuff, and that's just sad. It's sad to see, and I know I've had it. I've had products that by the time I've got to them have dried up, and products aren't cheap. They're really not. So it's more of a waste to hoard them, I think, than to just get on and use them. Getting that white on makes a difference, and as I said, hopefully we'll get a bit of a sky effect going on. I'm hoping this is going to make... I've not even pulled out the rice paper to see what I want to do. I just know that she's got fabulous funky scenes in rice papers, and so I'm thinking if the colours at the back in the background were sort of like sky, roughly sky and grass, that would work. That's the sum total of my thought process. I don't even know where it's going to fit on, but it'll all be alright. I'm enjoying just getting a bit of paint on there, and I've got a bit of blendage going on. It looks like something. I like that. I'm going to add a few more bits of white so that we've got sort of like a cloudy effect going on, and then I'm going to leave that to dry and get on with painting my cogs. I'm sure you'll have seen the complete Dawn and Julie I create before this goes up, because I have filmed one of the ones that I filmed is already up, the mermaid one, the mermaid page, but I've got another one filmed as well which hasn't gone up, so that'll need to go up first so that doing the cover makes sense. But I'll try and put that up in the next few days. There we go. So got that, and I'm happy with that. I'm just now going to leave that to dry, and when I'm back, hopefully it'll all be dry, and we will look at the lovely colour of that water. That's lovely. Anywho, we'll go from there. See you in a moment. Okay, so this is all dry. I have noticed that when I close it, I've failed to sort of do those bits there, but it'll be alright. I think by the time we've got our extra bits and bobs on. So this is the one I fancy using. I think it's kind of fun and quirky, but to fit her on and the other elements, we're going to have to sort of chop in and relay it over, but that is one of the joys of rice paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, probably should be using clean water. This isn't clean water. I'm going to try and I'm going to take this edge off first. So we'll just pop some water in, and that'll just make it easier to tear. It's a nice quality rice paper, this. I can feel it. It's really nice. I'll try and preserve the sentiment as well. So I take this. Oops. And this is one of the joys of rice paper. I mean, you can fussy cut normal paper, but it's the fact that because it's semi-transparent, we'll be able to layer that over and we'll still see what's going on underneath as well, which is fab. Right, so got that. Okay. Oh, she's so cute. Take these bits. Like so. Oops. Sorry, lost the ability to speak. I'm concentrating. Right. Preserve the girl for just now. I'll give that a bit of a torn edge so it blends into the page a little bit. And then we'll try and get those extra bird houses on in just a moment. Oops. Keep tearing. There we go. Oops. There we go. So we've got that. That's our first bit, so I'll get her on first because I definitely wanted to fit her on and I wanted the full her. So we'll get, and see, this is why I went for the green and blue in the background, so it's kind of, we're going to have built our scene and it'll have made sense. So that's fabulous. So what I'm going to do is I've got my slap it on here, which is like a gel medium, but you can pretty much use it for everything. If you've got Mod Podge or anything like that, that will work too. So I'm just going to get that on the background so that we have the ability to stick that on, and you're less likely to get a wrinkle and things if you put the medium down first. So we'll get that there, stick her down, and then I will just go over the edges. And if you start in the centre and go out, it means if there are any little extra bubbles or things in there, it will, you'll push them out. Put her on a bit of squint. I'm going to manage to move this without completely ripping her. Oh, that was fortunate. But I finally finished a journal. I don't want a squint lady on the front. Oh dear. Right, make sure she's straight this time. There we go. Okay. And what's cool about rice papers is I'm going to be able to get right in the corner and round the spine, and it'll just follow it beautifully, which is why I really fancied using the rice papers on the cover. There we go. Gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Right, so now we've got a little birdhouse here, which did sort of start life up there a little bit. We'll see how we go. So I'm going to tear this. And I've got other rice papers in the collection as well, which I can use to gradually build it up. So the reason I'm tearing it is the fluffier the edges are, the more seamlessly this will transition into your project. So I'm going to, I don't want it to match perfectly, I'm sort of going to play with the fact that it's torn. you know, make that a feature rather than try and hide it. So let's get a bit of gel medium down that corner bit as well, and then just down the back of the spine. So I'll pop that down. Oh, it's so nice. I love rice. Do you know, I've always loved rice papers. And I use Marlene's handmade paper, which is pretty much a rice paper as well, to make my own. And you can print on it with your digital papers and stuff like that, your digital stamps and things. And I love the fact you can put it on fabric. There's so much you can do with rice papers. I'll have to see if you can buy just these rice papers on their own, because I got the whole collection, but I can see me wanting more of these rice papers. So I'm just pushing that down into that corner bit. There we go. That's cute. I like that a lot. I'm just going to tear this bit here. And now it's funny, I've got loads of half-done journals, and I'm really excited about the fact that okay, if there was a dodgy edit, I am sorry, my camera decided to run out of battery. So it was recording for most of yesterday and then the start of today, so you know I can't be too annoyed with that. Okay, so I'm going to get this sentiment. Yeah, so I can't decide now. I feel like I want to treat myself to a new journal, but I don't know what journal to treat myself to. I actually think I don't know that I want it on a curve. So I think I might just patch this in, and this is the wonders of your rice papers, because that suddenly looks seamless. And it's also the good thing about the feathered edges that you can, oops, just, I've obscured the E a bit too much. Right, I'm just going to bring that down a bit further. So there we go. A bit squinter than I wanted it to be, but there we go. So make the world, we'll bring that over here. Oops, there's a little bit of something there, not wanting it to, and so even though that was on a curve, apart from the fact that it's gone a bit squint there, I can make this sentiment straight. There we go. Make the world a better place. Like. Like that at the top. That's what I should have done with the... And all these little bits that you end up with, don't throw them away, because you can piece them all together and make a page. So I might do that. I might just keep a little tub of all my little rice paper bits, because I can seem to do now a few rice paper projects. I ordered some indigo blue ones as well the other day, so I can see me having loads of different things. Right, so I'm going to pop this open, and I've got this, still got this bit, so I think we'll pop this over here so that we sort of have the front and back match a little bit. So there's a bit of decoration here. So I don't know what journal to buy. I don't know even if I should be buying a journal, because I should probably be finishing. I mean, yeah, okay, I'm really excited because I've actually finished a journal, but I've still got lots more here that I've actually not finished. So I probably should work on those, but I feel like I need to reward myself. Right. I've got this. I do feel like I kind of want the word journal somewhere, but I don't even know if I've got a journal stamp or sticker or something. Right, we've still got a little bit of sun rays over here. Stick that in somewhere. Yeah, that kind of looks like it's still coming from there then. Pop a bit of that in. I'm just going to close this and get that going in the groove. It's going to disguise the fact that the paint didn't go in there very well. All of these bits have still got a tiny bit of pattern in them, so I can use those to build up a little bit. Might have it like that actually, so it's kind of almost following that hill shape. So as I said, this is what I love, that I really wanted that girl, but to have used her as a whole sheet she wouldn't have fitted on, but I've still been able to get the feel of that piece just by pulling it apart and reassembling it, and then it's kind of your own as well. There we go. All these extra, I'll just piecing these extra bits together just for extra detail. What have we got on these bits that we've thrown away? See, that was a bit of her hair. That's fine. Now it's just a something. A something. I don't know what, but a something. There we go. So getting all these tiny little bits of pattern. So that's turned out a bit bright. I'm not sure that I'll really like that. But then we just get another bit and go over it. We'll still see it underneath there, but we'll have muted it a little bit, which is cool. Try and build up. I might end up, I'm going to try and do this out of leftovers. If not, I might pull in another sheet because I quite like the way that's sort of going there, and I almost want to fill all this bottom bit. But I'm not sure if I've got quite enough in the scraps, but we have other sheets that we can bring in. Yeah, there's not much. So I've got I don't want to use any of the scene ones, I'll save those. But I do have like these dotty ones, so let's put some of these dots in. Oops. So I'll use up that a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do it the wrong way around. And the reason that I'm doing it the wrong way around is that the colours are quite bright in comparison to the ones I've already put down. But by putting it down the wrong way around, it's just muted them a little bit, which suits the piece that I'm working on a bit more, I think. But there. Fun, 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 fun. There we go. And then I might just pop a little bit over here as well. I'm happy. Okay, so I need to let all of that dry, let all that gel medium. I need to pull that down a bit because I'm going to lose my sentiment. And then I'll come back. I don't know, I might, as I said, I fancy putting journal somewhere, but I don't know whether just to leave as is. The other thing is I just kind of want to get this going right into that corner. So that we don't end up with a gap. actually taking all of these tiny little scraps that I've got here, because it's not necessarily about the overall look. This is just so that it goes seamlessly into the spine. So I'm just going with what I've got here. Okay. There we go. Right, put it back like that. For it to dry. Mind you, it's fairly dry, but I don't want to blast it with the heat gun because I don't want any bubbles or anything. This is my front cover. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that dry, and then I'll come back and we may do a little bit of stamping, maybe a bit of stamping, and I don't know, something or other. Okay, so I can't find any journal sticker or stamp that I like, so I think I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm just going to doodle a border because, well, you know how I feel about doodly borders, so I feel that we need one on the front as well. So I'm going to do that. And I've also just pulled out a couple of Jane Davenport washes. Run this down the spine here. And I think I'm going to do the same on the spine and then the same on the back. I'm not going for accuracy, as you can see. Okay, and then we'll do the same back here as well. This is a canvas cover, so we are getting, there's a few points there where it's not kind of been overly accurate in the pen work, but it is the fact, I mean it's still writing on it, it's just the fact it's the surface that it's going on. There we go. So I've got that all framed. But I was just, as I was flicking through trying to find a journal sticker, I found these like Jane Davenport washes, and some of them have got the swatches and things on them, and I've done a lot of swatching in this journal, so I think have a few of those on it just maybe could tear the edge a bit. Could just sort of represent what's in the journal, if that makes sense. Kind of makes sense in my head. Sorry, I've got a really squeaky chair thing going on here. Yeah, because I've done a lot of swatching in the journal. I just saw that swatch washi and thought, oh, do you know, that would work as part of the cover. What else have we got? Let your imagination flow. I could put that on this side because we've got a centering on the front. So I'll put that on the back. Don't think I need any of those ones or those ones. Yeah. So I think that's probably us done. So that is my journal cover all finished. Journal all finished. I will do a flip through, but I'll record that and put that on a separate video, so look out for that coming soon. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I'll be back with you again very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.